waking up with us. Who is here for the first time? Raise your hand. All right. Well, let's welcome them. Give them a round of applause. Okay, we want to officially welcome you to 1 Million Cups. This is what we called Guppy Tank, not like Shark Tank. So we want to encourage all of our entrepreneurs and our startups. So constructive criticism is wonderful. Each presenter will get 6 minutes to present exactly what they're doing, and then we do a 20-minute Q&A with the audience. So if you have questions, get them ready. We encourage it. We do want to thank our sponsors, Rollins College, for hosting us. We want to thank Barney's Coffee for providing us with caffeinated 1 Million Cups. And we do want to thank Joycaster in the back. He comes in every Wednesday. Just give him a round of applause. Woo-hoo. Good, and I want to introduce our organizers. Myself, my name is Stephanie. Ron is the fellow leader of our crew. This is David, he runs technical. Over here is Angela, she's our marketer. And we have Jan. So we just want to say thank you. And Nancy, I'm so sorry. Sorry, Nancy. She's in Kansas City. Okay, well, I'd love to welcome our first entrepreneurs, LinkPlug. They're going to go ahead and get us started, and you guys are up.
Hello. Hi, I'm Brian, and this is Edwin, and he's going to be going through most of the presentation.
We get a mic. This is the first time I've done it with a mic. I'm good on this. I have my own pointer. Thanks, man. Okay, cool. So we already introduced ourselves. This is LinkPlug. So what is LinkPlug? So LinkPlug is a way for politicians to turn social media followers into supporters and donators. So when I use social media, I use it to follow influential people, people that share content with me, share value, share insights, have domain expertise, get to know people. So this upcoming election, I'm going to be making sure to follow these presidential candidates and see what they're all about, what their public policies are. I want to know about their background. I want to know what they've done historically. I want to know if they keep their word. So I'm going to be following them and making sure that I do, get educated on who I'm endorsing before I endorse them. So, since I'm doing my due diligence to know what they're all about, we feel that politicians should also do their due diligence to facilitate that information, to make sure that it's easy to educate the voters and know what they stand for. So unfortunately, there comes a problem. The problem is that they're super busy. This time of year, they're always campaigning. They have their advertising hats. They're doing interviews. They're kissing babies. They're definitely in the marketing sense, and so is their campaign. So that's a bit of a problem. LinkPlug, we feel, is a solution. We feel it's a solution because we are incentivizing people to share articles and share content to the voters and educate them while still being able to advertise. So you can envision it like this. So let's say that a politician on social media is sharing a CNN article about their public policies, or a video interview that they did on MSNBC about education reform, or they're sharing a blog post that a journalist did about, say, the upper tax bracket. So while they share this on social media, at the same time, simultaneously, they'll also be able to advertise for their campaign. So it's a win-win. It's a win for the voters because we're getting educated on their public policies, and it's a win for the politicians because obviously they'll be campaigning. So if you can go to the next slide. Here I have a demo, so instead of me trying to explain this, I'll just show you. It's a little bit easier. So in this first example, we'll be going through currently what Hillary Clinton's Twitter looks like. This is a little old. I think it's in February. So here we have see why we believe kids' health insurance is a priority. So then we have a New York Times article. So if you could click that. So this is what the voter would see. They would say, hey, so obviously Hillary cares about this issue. They read a little bit more about this. Now, this is the experience that they would have if Hillary Clinton and her political party was using LinkPlug. So Hillary would take the URL of that New York Times article, and she would go up there and plug the link. So then she would get a new link And then when she shares this link on social media, it's a much more engaging experience. Here you can see, it's kind of tough because of the background, but there's this little bottom bar here that stays with the voter or potential voter as they read the article. So there's an opportunity for the social media, or the consumer, I guess you could say, to interact with her campaign. So if you go ahead and click on it, then this modal pops up, which is the main LinkPlug application. And here you can see there's a call to action. Let's get her on the road to the White House. So let's say somebody clicks on See My Policies. They would be driven to the Clinton Foundation. So the person knows a little bit more about what she's all about, what her public policies are. Can you go back real quick? Okay, so let's say that she loved that article and she wanted to know more about what Hillary's been sharing on social media. All these are generated from her social media account. And if you go ahead and click on one of them, this is like a new article that also still has that same bottom bar and that same experience. So it's like her campaign is going with you throughout the social media and content sharing experience. If you pop up the modal again. And then we also have an email collection form here, so that if you wanted to subscribe to hear more about her campaign and what's going on with her, then you can go ahead and click subscribe, and then it would be given to her. And all of these are independent. So this is a feature, this is a feature, and this is a feature, and it's all customizable. This is just what the end user, the person that's using social media, aka the voter, would be using. And we'll take questions. This is kind of a little overview, but we can go a little bit more in depth if you guys like.
The mics allow us to be heard through the camera.
Oh, okay.
I'm an old dog at this. So, first of all, congratulations for stepping up there the first time, man. I know that's scary with the mic and all, so you did well. You did
I just
well.
Don't like holding it. Like, I like interacting, you know?
Get it up a little bit higher and just use the other hand to compensate. That's okay. Two things. One, you seem to have a very political focus, and while that is a necessary niche, I don't think that that's necessarily a viable business. Do you guys have this also set up so that businesses and their identities could use this? Because I think that is more likely to gain you consumers or users than the political side, because quite frankly, I think if anybody's like me, they're just over it. So have you discussed that amongst yourself? And if you have, do you have a demo of what that looks like? And if not, dude, you need to do it.
Okay, so if I'm understanding this correctly, the question is, are we just going through the political niche, or are we trying to do other sectors? Is that correct, kind of general overview? Yeah, 100%. The reason that we chose okay, so if you can go back to the beginning. So the reason that we chose a political is because of, because obviously it's...
Have you got the artist example?
Yeah, sure. Go back, if you can go back to Steve Aoki. Yeah.
Okay. And so anybody or any business can be applied to this?
100%.
Okay.
The reason that we're going political is just so we can validate the product. We feel that politicians, I mean, when it comes to advertising on social media, they're not all that great. I mean, Hillary Clinton has like 7 million followers or something like that. She has clout that is incredible, yet they're not leveraging it. So it's just something that we see that we can kind of move up in the sector very quickly and validate this product before we expand, because it's one of those things, if everybody's your customer, nobody's really your customer, you know? So, you know, we're only two guys. So if we can validate it with the politicians or with another sector, then, you know, we'll go from there. Do you want to add, or?
One thing I'd like to add is that businesses are a lot of times still trying to grow their social media, and the ones that already have the established social media tend to already have established teams that are kind of building out their own custom way of doing things. we see going ahead with the politicians as a niche that we can, really convince them that sharing is something they need to be doing because they already have the audience there, versus having businesses looking at us to build their social media audience. We definitely see moving into the businesses much more, as soon as we kind of prove our product with a niche that we think we can get into early.
You have a question.
Yes, as a former politician, I congratulate you because this is a need in the political world. I have several politicians that will be very interested to buy this product because it's a need. And you are on a campaign year. Timing is perfect. And I'm sure they will buy it. If they see the demo, they are in because it's social media and they know they need it. So it's a need. You really did right. And I congratulate you. It's a perfect product, and the timing is perfect.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, we appreciate it. Another thing I'd like to add too is one of the reasons that we wanted to go political is because of the fact that the information sometimes there's a lot of noise in a campaign, So if we can, with advertising, you have to make sure that the end person that's getting advertised to also has a pleasant experience. So if they're learning more about something that they're interested in, then that kind of helps us. It reduces friction, So yeah. Yeah, we'll definitely talk after this. Appreciate it. Awesome, we'd appreciate that.
Good morning.
Teleported.
Oh,
That was You're quick.
I spent some time in the influencer marketing space. The market definitely exists, so congratulations on identifying the opportunity. The political space is definitely a very profitable one. But the two questions that everybody always asks are, how do you monetize this? And the second one, as a follow-up to the monetization, is how do you verify that the people clicking through these links are people and they're not click bots? Because in the monetization, nobody wants to pay for false traffic.
So the way we monetize it as LinkPlug is we sell packages for how many clicks you get on that link, and we do have a basic system in place to avoid detecting or avoid recording bots as clicks. So that's going to be a constant struggle. It's not something that we really encounter though when it comes to the clicks that convert into sales. That is something that, because of the way it's presented in JavaScript, there just really aren't any bots set up to do that, and there wouldn't really be any advantage. Like right now, there's an advantage for people setting up click bots because they can collect revenue on the clicks. If the only person that could really collect revenue on these clicks are the person that is paying for the clicks to begin with, so it there's not as much of a conflict of interest there as there is with normal pay-per-click advertising. Did that answer your question? Okay.
Hi. You talk about Hillary, and Ron Paul was famous for drumming up support among the young people and using social media. I think was a big part of his popularity. And he's not running this year, but his son Rand Paul is. But all that points to the question is, how are you identifying and finding your target market? Because it's more than just Hillary. How are you contacting politicians, and at different levels, at different local, state, and national?
Yeah, that's a good question. So if I can make sure that I'm understanding this correctly, so how do we target within the political realm, right? So this thing, the biggest thing that we need is we need people that have a strong social media following, because these advertisements are done via links. So when you're sharing like a CNN article about your policies, or you're sharing an interview that you did, or something, some sort of news or article, when you're sharing that stuff, then you can advertise with this. So usually the people that benefit the most are the ones that have high social media followers. So that's why we kind of use Hillary as one of the examples, because her social media is ridiculous. There's actually a company that we worked with, Signal Labs, that they do analytics for kind of the social clout and social stuff. And during one of her speeches, she said one thing. I can't remember exactly what it is, but if you're interested, I could pull up the article. And she was mentioned within 15 or 20 minutes on social media 500,000 times. And the cool thing about this is that once they share this link, anybody else that shares this link is also going to have that advertisement. So it has kind of a viral factor. We call it a viral coefficient is what it's referred to. So that, let's say you see something on a political campaign and you share that link that's a link plug, anybody you share it to on your social media or that clicks it will also see that advertisement. So that's why we say it kind of converts people into supporters as well, because just by sharing that link that they shared with this advertisement, they're kind of, part of your campaign. So, do you want to add anything?
And then when it comes to qualifying leads, is I think what you might have been asking too. That would basically, we just kind of use existing databases of how many social connections these people have, and we're just targeting from the top down. Whoever's got the most social media connections, that's who we're doing everything to connect with first.
Right here. I commend you for. I've been looking at this space actually, content curation, and a growing trend on social media where people are not creating their own content but sharing content, and how do you brand that to yourself once they click the link. So this is a great idea that I think it's going to really take off. And when it takes off, are you ready for the scalability being a political year and this growing trend on social media? And what are those plans to scale it up?
So our minimum viable product that we've had out that handles any niche you want, it's admittedly very complex and not the thing to use. And this is to give you an idea, this is all done for under $100 a month with pretty much free level plans that are all built for scale. So I use a server called Heroku, and I use the most minimum server I can on there, and everything's served through CDNs and things that are high scalability. So, I think when it comes to handling the traffic, there's going to be issues. The biggest issue I can point out right now is our database issue, but I think that'll be solved in due time. Right now, the issue with that is that 2 million I mentioned. We can go to about 10 million before I want to start kind of distributing the databases in a way that kind of make them parallel. But that's an issue that I'm actually currently working on in the architecture for LinkPlug 2.0, which is going to be more directed towards niches. So we can have a political LinkPlug, we can have an artist LinkPlug, and it'll be niche down in a way that should also help us with any scale issues by kind of avoiding them even.
Okay. The whole presentation for me got slightly skewed, and I tried not to let it affect me. When up front you had made a comment about who you would endorse. You don't want to do that. Okay, not where you're going, but my comment is that to go directly to where I see the big money for you, we're in this impression that we have a two-party system. There's only one party. That's where you want to go. The one party, those are your incumbents. That's where they will do anything to stay in power. So if you don't want the incumbents to stay in power, you don't want to make that your first target. But I think your moneymaker are your incumbents. Just a little what if.
Well, appreciate that advice.
Yes, so I spent like the last 5 years in kind of social media, big data intersection. 4 years ago, Newt actually stiffed us. So first comment, make sure you guys collect on the deals. Oh, sorry. Newt Gingrich. So pretty big deal too. Questions, I guess, are you guys buying Twitter content?
Could you elaborate? Did you say buying Twitter content?
Yeah. How
Could
do
you
get your
elaborate on
Twitter
that?
content?
So what Twitter content are you specifically?
Yeah.
When you could you give me an example of buying Twitter content?
Yeah, sorry. Suppose I want to sign up like a week before the campaign. I'm not going to be able to go back a year and a half on Twitter content. So are you guys storing it or buying it?
Okay. Yeah, so we can't retrofit most links, mainly because on Twitter you can't edit tweets. So, we could definitely help out with coming up with content to share, though, because, we actually don't share most of the content that we use our product for, personally. The way we do it is with pretty much automation, whether that be automated through RSS feeds, automated posting, from sources that we, decide, or there's a nifty little app called Buffer where we can post stuff at any time and it'll schedule it out. Okay. And we integrate with both types of systems. We integrate with the automated tweeting systems and with Buffer.
Okay, cool. And finally, I guess, as a couple of people had said, I think you may be more successful with local campaigns or state campaigns and maybe even issues.
Okay, thanks.
So could you elaborate on the issues? What, like, organizations?
Or
Like
Nebraska
nonprofits?
politicians
Okay.
supporting gay marriage, medical marijuana, et cetera, et cetera.
Gotcha. Okay, appreciate it.
So I have two questions. One, where are you in, do you have current customers now? Are you you have revenue now? And then secondly, if you're targeting people who already have lots of social media followers, then what is the benefit here? What are you trying to get those followers to do for them if they're already engaged?
Yeah, sure. That's a great question. So as far as our users, we have, well, let's see, because this is a common question. 2011. We have 2011 current advertisers, and then so the other article or the other question was revenue generating. Okay, so we have about a dozen paying clients right now, and that was after, to give you a little bit of context, that was also after changing our pricing scheme. So now our pricing scheme is a little bit different. Currently, the lowest plan is $50. We also have a free plan. And then depending on, the pricing scales up to $500 depending on how many plugs you're basically showing, so the amount of clicks that you get. Now the other question you mentioned was what's the basically use of this if if they have a high social media, then why would they need a product like this? Okay, so the thing with people nowadays is when you're on social media, there's just such a surplus of information, especially the younger generation. Their minds are like a hamster, just like boom, 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 boom. So when they see just a mass slew of articles and content, such as Twitter, which is just what it is now, is just news, pretty much just curation of news. Once you go to an article, you're kind of not in touch or engaging with that person. It might be associated with them, but their face isn't there. Their call to action or there's no way to drive the person from an article or some kind of news to the website unless you use our product. That I know of anyways.
So guys, we are going to wrap things up. Sorry, I scared you.
That mic is hard to follow. It's tough to follow.
So in the spirit of 1 Million Cups, we always end with the one question, which is what can the community do, in a core way to help you the most?
Okay. Great question. So, like we said, we're gearing up for this political, this campaign, rally, whatever you want to call it. So any form of politicians or PACs, super PACs, any kind of connection to those would be greatly appreciated so we can build a case study. Because people love case studies, nothing more than social proof. And we have some others in niches, but we really think that the political one is a good sector to kind of go into. So if we can get in contact, even if it's like a friend of a friend, I'll try and reduce the degrees of separation. That'll be my job. Do you want to add anything?
I think you covered it.
Okay, well, we really appreciate it. Thank you for the time.
Thank you,
We
guys.
love
Thanks
1
very
million
much.
Cups, so.
All right. That was really exciting. So once again, just reminding you that this is 1 Million Cups Orlando, and we are a group sponsored by the Kauffman Foundation, and we get together to try and encourage startups and emerging companies in our community. And we want to send out a request that you all tweet and give social love to all of our sponsors, Joycaster Rollins and Barney's Coffee, who keeps us caffeinated. And as we always say, all of our organizers, we work for tweets and hugs. So please tweet and hug us. Not necessarily in that order? Okay, David says not in that order. Just to remind you, if you parked in the parking garage, we validate, and there's little yellow parking stickers out on the coffee table. If we run out, just grab one of our 1 Million Cups cards, and they typically know us and they honor that as well. Just a reminder, we count on your participation. We are a little thin on presenters, so if you know of a startup company, please send them to our website. It's a really simple registration process. Then they go through a process. We give them lots of tools. If they say to you, we're not ready, go, yes, you are. For this forum, they are. This is the place where you come and you get real support on how to evolve your presentation, how to get better with investors. And I promise you guys, there'll be people all over you at the end trying to help you. So you're going to get lots of that. So please encourage people to apply and go through the process. Did I forget anything?
One quick note, if you look over there in the corner, sitting quietly, there's Alex, who was one of the organizers as well. Alex, raise your hand. There you go. Yeah. Go for it. He did something awful. He got a real job, so he couldn't come and hang out with us every Wednesday. But I'm glad you snuck away. So, thank you, Alex.
All right, so let's introduce our second presenter. It sounds like this company's all about what we're about: build, grow, scale. So let's welcome them.
What's up, guys? My name is Silva, and we have a company called Build, Grow, Scale. So before I talk to you about that, I guess I'll tell you a little bit about myself. 5 years ago, I started a company called Knowledgely. We were a digital education company. After that, we moved over and started another company called Growth Hacker TV. And I ended up selling my percentage on both of those companies and starting something different called Build, Grow, Scale. What Build, Grow, Scale is a digital education and software company that helps companies build, grow, and scale their businesses online. So we do digital education, but we also do consulting. We've helped companies like P90X, Shopify, bigger and venture-backed startup companies as well. So the goal that we've wanted to do is we wanted to create a big event, and that's kind of what this is that we're talking about today. So what the event is we've gathered a lot of people ourselves and a lot of our mentors, friends, and stuff like that, and we've brought them into Orlando to teach what we're actually doing to build, grow, and scale our companies, what they're doing with their companies and consulting companies and things like that. There's a lot of great events that you can go to and a lot of different things that you can do, but not a lot of people actually do things. And so we wanted to kind of come and, make it a big part of Orlando and try to create an event here that will, help us ascend more people into our education products, which is by 2020, I think it's going to be a $4.7 trillion industry. Right? So we want to empower people, we want to educate people, and we want to do a lot of that through our event because we think that that'll also help Orlando bring a lot of big people and startup from the community. Our main speaker this year is one of my really good friends. His name is Neil Patel. If you are in the startup kind of industry, you kind of know who he is. So he's coming down, and next year we're going to be bringing bigger people. We're going to be trying to bring people from Y Combinator, Techstars, et cetera, et cetera. I'm going to try to leverage all my connections to bring them down to Orlando because right now, Orlando has a great opportunity and the startup scene is growing and stuff like that. So I want to do all I can, and we want to do all I can to bring that here and later on scale the events into multinational events. So I just want to show a quick little clip. We've been doing kind of like some test runs on South Florida, Nevada, and different places like that with smaller events. This is a 500-person event. So I just want to show a few testimonials of what people have been getting out of the event and stuff like that. So let's just show the video. Yeah, I think you can, just right there.
Day one of the event, we're halfway through the day, my mind is already blown.
It was an incredible event. It was super tactical, very practical information that I can go back and implement into my business.
I just love this guy. He's the best.
I think the biggest takeaway was networking, that I need to keep coming back to these types of events, just building strong relationships, learning things, confirmation that what I'm already doing is good, but some other ways that I can improve my business. It's just so easy to learn these things in the small groups, but I can't really get in the big groups because you can't ask questions, you can't hear the details that you normally need to know. So the biggest takeaway for me would be that just there's a lot of value in networking, and so coming to these events are very, very important.
This is an event that I would recommend for everybody that's doing anything online, but if you want to have a real business, if you want to have something that's sustainable, not something that 6 months down the road is not going to work anymore, this is absolutely the event that you want to be at.
If you ever had the chance to learn from Tanner Lawson and his team and his group, you really should do that because it's going to enhance your knowledge in the industry and also your education level to get things done a lot faster.
So in terms of breaking the whole process down to an exact science, that's just amazing, like mind-blowing stuff.
My biggest takeaway from the event was probably how to turn my digital business into more of an e-commerce based business. The guys talked about how to look at search criteria from your data and then spin that off into physical products, which is something that both me and my business partner talked about for quite some time, and really kind of give me the insight that we needed, the push that we needed to get that going.
I'm really looking forward to implementing everything and seeing how well it pans out for me.
Tanner and Los did a great job of helping me break down my business and make sure I target exactly what I need to target in my business and make sure I don't overload myself.
Anytime you can get anything from Tanner, follow him, listen to his webinars, come to his events. I highly recommend it. It's definitely worth your while.
There's three things that really picked up from the event that were amazing. The people that you meet, the network that you make are unbelievable. And also I walked away with some things that I can apply next week in my business that I know will bring me more income and generate more business. And really it's like a great chance to actually have a great time. And the thing I really like about Tanner, he really cares about people and he really wants to go beyond the Call of Duty to actually bring you value and actually teach you exactly what he's doing. So if you're thinking about going to the event, it's amazing. Just come to it. I'll see you there in the next event.
All right, so that was that. So you guys probably heard Tanner a lot. Tanner's my business partner. He's more the over-the-top digital face of stuff. I'm more on the back-end consulting type things. So basically, in a nutshell, guys, that is our event. It's happening in Orlando. It's May 22nd and 23rd. I talked with Ron, and one of the things I wanted to do is give you guys a special discount if you guys do want to come. Would love to have you. I think there's a lot of stuff that people can learn. We talk a lot. Our specialties are e-commerce and software. We talk a lot about digital marketing, growing your business, data, how to spend money on media, how to do analytics properly, how to make data-driven decisions. And we've got a lot of people that are coming to speak that have very big businesses as well and are coming to share and give as much knowledge as we possibly can. So with that said, that's basically it. Morning.
Okay, I'm good. Hi.
Hey.
Two questions.
Yes.
What makes you different than, what was the event earlier this year? The Big Exchange? Yeah, the Big Exchange.
I'm not familiar with that event.
Okay, great. Awesome. So something for you to look into.
Okay.
Right? And in that same vein, you got a lot of competitors in this space. What sets you apart? Like, why would I want to come there as a business owner or a startup or even someone who's had a established business, right? And someone's got, you've got great products. You've got to get this stuff online. How are you going to do that? Why would I come there?
Well, because we have a pretty good background. We've been doing this for a long time, and we do it we have products that help the entrepreneur that just wants to, get rid of his job and start a lifestyle business, to companies like Lending Home, which just got $50 million in funding, and P90X, which is a $600 million a year business. So we kind of play the whole gambit, and we have data and we have stuff and tracks to prove it. A big reason why we wanted to do this is because there's a lot of people and there's a lot of competitors, and they don't really do anything. They blog, and that's awesome, but that's what they do. And their business is based off blogging. Our business is based off growing our business, and then we actually talk about it and discuss it, and we want to share the most we possibly can, because we feel that people are getting the wrong kind of education out there.
I have a question.
Where are you? Where'd you go?
I'm right here.
Hey.
Hey, good morning.
Morning.
For Build, Grow, Scale, are you an actual event company that puts on live events, or are you an actual company and this event just happens to fall?
We're an actual company, and what we're doing right now is we're going to start throwing this event. So we're doing 500 people this year. We already committed to do 1,000 people next year, with actually 1,100 people next year. So we're going to try to make this a very big event that is Orlando based. I really want to make it a thing where people come to Orlando, and it's not just for Mickey. They come to Orlando because there's a great community and there's a lot of people that come, and we want to do that here first, kind of really set it in, and then grow it out and potentially make a West Coast one and stuff like that. But we are a company. We have a few different things. Like I said, we have software, we have digital education, and we have consulting as well.
Okay, thank you.
So I have a question. I really want to help understand who your ideal business is to use what you're delivering. Like, how big are they? Where are they in the process, et cetera, et cetera? Name that primary customer.
So our average client kind of varies a little bit. We have a few different avatars on that, but the average person has a 1 to 10 person team. They're doing anywhere from they're doing about $100,000 to multiple $1 million a year. That's who we can best serve, but certainly a lot of the knowledge and things like that is also geared for you to start and grow your business properly from the beginning. So I hope kind of that answers your question.
Hi, me again, sorry. Because the answer prompted another question. Okay. So I get your separation. You're the doers as opposed to the talkers.
Yeah.
I got that. So 2 questions. What kind of follow-up do you do with people that have participated? Right?
Well,
so you're clear what you're providing is actually producing the result that you're promising. That's my first question, and then I'll give you my second one.
So the answer to that is we have, like I said, digital education and products, and we have coaching and consulting. So you can buy our product, and you would be in our membership sites. You would get our products. We would essentially, if you continue to grow and scale your business with us, you would ascend into our consulting programs and different things like that as well.
Okay, so the expectation for you is for someone to come, they get some tools, and then for them to actually implement them as designed, they actually have to sign up for consulting.
Well, it depends where you are in your business. Okay. If you are a company that's getting, like their company that's getting 100,000 uniques a day, and they wanted to get some conversion rate optimization, we could help them with that. Okay. If you wanted to just kind of learn a little bit more because you want to just get rid of your job, you would sign up to one of our smaller programs that's just a digital course online and digital education online, and you kind of help, get you through that hump, and we have different coaches and stuff to kind of like assist you and help you and support you. So it really depends where you are in your business. Okay. Our specific goal with this event is just to get the word out, start putting a lot more, a bigger positioning, branding thing, and really make it something that becomes a big event in Orlando.
Okay, great, because along that same line, I'm just looking at what you've got up here. What you just said isn't up there.
Yeah,
right?
We're actually redoing the sales copy.
Okay, good. Yeah, because that's a lot about what you're offering as opposed to what it's in it for me. What are you going to do for me? So that would be just a suggestion.
You also haven't read the it's a whole sales page, and so we didn't. I'm not going to put you through.
Yeah,
that.
No. I got that, but just so you know,
yeah,
that's awesome, and I don't get what the difference it's going to make for me as a business person.
Okay.
Okay, so just a little coaching.
Yes.
All right, very well. Where to take this, because basically what you want to be promoting is that this is an opportunity for people to work on their business, not in their business. Very key soundbite. One of the reasons I would know that is that for 4 years I was a gatekeeper to a real high-end pay-to-play organization. It was $6,500 entry fee just to be a part of the organization. But we put on these 8-day-long events that were NBA brush-ups on steroids, but the kings and queens of industry were all there. And because you were all a part of this and it invested in yourself, you were worthy of everyone else. So we had a cooperative mindset to the culture, which was to be the first one to walk up to the other person and say, what are you working on? What do you need next? What I'm not seeing is enough emphasis on the power of the back end of the network you can potentially be developing and how the people can interact afterwards. That's left out. And I know the biggest trainers on the planet, they're personal friends, and they all leave it out.
Yeah, yeah. Again, like there's 18 pages if you keep scrolling on that, and we didn't want to put you guys through actually having to read the 18 pages. But you can go to the site, and it explains a lot more. It explains the community we're trying to build. It explains actually each speaker and what the speaker's specifically going to be talking about, why that helps your business, wherever your business may be, and stuff like that. But I really appreciate that insight.
Hey, I got a quick question.
Yeah.
So I'm familiar with a couple things like this. Have you heard of MicroConf?
Yeah, I'm friends with Rob.
Okay, yeah. So you know his podcast, Startups for the Rest of Us.
Yeah.
I love it. Like, it's one of my favorites. So I'm assuming that this is kind of like a similar model. Could you elaborate on is it because I know MicroConf is limited. I know it's a little bit higher budget and for usually.
It's similar. Rob focuses on the like micro startup. Like very, very focused on the bootstrapper and just getting out of that and like kind of slowly starting to grow a little bit more. We also touch on that topic, but we also touch on the bigger stuff and like what to do when you're scaling, how to scale, who do you need to talk to. You know, we have people that are coming in that are advisors and mentors and other, you know, tech startups and like Y Combinator, Techstars, different things like that. So we're bringing in people that are, you know, very well vetted, like, you know, like Neil and stuff like that. So I think I've been talking to Rob. I'm actually trying to get Rob to just come and hang out and stuff like that. But we're going to have that kind of, that's the kind of person that's going to be, that I'm going to be bringing on that side, you know, so that's the people that we're looking to come are, you know, a variation of bootstrappers to guys that just passed the bootstrap and they're considering funding or they can do it by themselves, and the guys that are doing very well and they're looking to scale as well. You know, they're just people that are getting acquired. Like we have that's the point, right? Build, grow, scale. Like we have all three facets.
Yeah, I gotcha. And then could you go in a little bit, because I'm sure that you have a whole bunch of resources also for people that are, I guess you could say like bootstrappers and trying to funnel them in, because from what I've understood, it's kind of like a long-term kind of thing. Like if they affiliate with you, then there's not just going to be like a one and done, like, oh, I saw you, great conference, you know, I probably won't see you again. It's more of like, you're going to be with me, and it's going to look kind of like consulting and advising, like an advisor.
Well, it's the advising and consulting part is actually probably the smallest part we have, because we're pretty picky in the companies that we work with and stuff like that at that level. Our biggest thing is our software tools, and we have our coaching and education programs, right? So we have about 20,000 people, 25,000 people now in our programs, and you know we want to get that to 100,000 people as fast as possible.
More questions? It's cool. Go ahead.
Hi, sorry. I'm thinking, well, we'll just have a conversation afterwards. How are you marketing this?
We're buying media.
What media?
We're buying Facebook and Twitter and YouTube ads. That's what we're pretty good at. And so
yeah, and how's that
that's
going?
our main thing. Yeah.
How's that going?
It's going good. We've got we launched the sales page 2.5 weeks ago. We've got about 200 tickets sold.
And you're expecting 500?
Yeah, we're trying to. Yeah.
Awesome. And are you guys working with the EDC or the downtown, anyone down there, so that they get really what you're creating for them?
So that's actually one of the big things. I'm connected in like the startup world, and outside of Orlando, nobody knows what. I don't know a person here besides Awesome Ron, you know. But that's it. But yeah, so yeah, I'd love connections and people in Orlando and stuff like that. I really want companies from Orlando to come and get something out of it and you know, learn. Okay. Okay.
So Los, we've chatted quite a bit, and you know, one of the things that we do at 1 Million Cups is try to help companies to move this forward. What has been your biggest obstacle so far within, and obviously I know you do a lot of stuff West Coast, East Coast, and you have a lot of experience on growing those businesses. Give us a little bit of insight as to what has been some of your challenges here, and I'll segue that into, and what can we as a community do to help you move this journey along to make it both an anchored event in Orlando that can scale hopefully beyond our borders as well.
Yeah, so we have a lot of experience in growing and acquiring users and stuff like that, but building an event is totally different. It's really difficult because you're just fighting a lot more obstacles. You're not only having to have someone pay for the ticket, then they've got to pay for air flight, then they've got to get there, and you know, you've got to be doing it on the right time. I had no idea we did this, but we accidentally picked the dates that are Memorial Day. So, you know, there's a lot of issues with that particular thing going. And so a big thing that, you know, like I said, we drive a lot of advertising and media, and so we're getting people from other places to come, but not a lot of people locally. And so one of the big things we want to do is make it a big local event, right? And we want to connect with the community. We want the community to come. We want local advertisers that make sense. We're selling a few booths. We have like 4 booths left. And so that's the biggest thing you guys could do to help us is tell us what we can do or how we can get more involved with the community, and if it's a good fit for a sponsor booth, you know, like I said, we have a few more, and that's it.
Well, my thought is, if you want to attract Orlando, because of your connections, West Coast, East Coast, and all this stuff, at some point, you might want to remove them and bring in the people from Orlando. So reaching out to Uber here in town or Lyft, and you know, these startup from Canvas to, you know, Catalyst and all these guys and girls, the UCF entrepreneurship group, if you're not talking to them, then this won't ever really break into the heart of Orlando. It'll be a really cool event. I'm sure you'll make some money from it, but you know, you have Orlando City Soccer here and all these guys and girls. So, you know, whether you're drafting up some type of proposals and having some business meetings and saying, hey guys, this is what I'm doing here, this can impact on our, even has here in Orlando damage in the community, then I don't really see Orlando getting behind what you're doing. This seems self-motivated, not attacking you, but just speaking honestly. Yeah. So if you start adding some components that, this is impacting kids here in Orlando, or to grow something here in Orlando, because we're going to build our own startup factory and turn this place here into a Silicon Valley or whatever that may be, then I think Orlando may say, okay, well, this guy's talking about us. So just
any help would be appreciated. You know, I'm open to all that.
Okay. We're happy there's several of us here in the room that can probably open up some opportunities for you to get in front of people, because it's about relationships.
Yeah.
But the thing that I see is that there are lots of event companies and lots of great events. When they market it as an experience, not an event, they begin to intrigue a little bit on a different level. So maybe trying to think of how can we communicate the experience side of what this is, to me that would be really critical. Because another event, I mean, I helped one guy who's with Brian Tracy recently, you know, get access to a bunch of people so that he could sell a bunch of tickets for $495. So I got my free ticket because I wouldn't have paid for it because I know too many people like him.
Yeah.
But you know, the bottom line is that there are people that can open up doors for you, and that's what you really need right now. That's what I see as your missing component. And if you want to make sure that a year from now on Memorial Day, you're not having a special service during the middle of your event for all the businesses that died in the process because the experience was missing. The experience is going to be the interaction of the peoples.
Yeah.
So we're going to, are there any questions? Any last questions? Good. So what we're going to do is, again, in the spirit of 1 million cups, what is your little ask of us? And you mentioned a discount. So before you do that, we're going to let you know that if you are interested and you want to know about the discount, you're going to have to like us on Facebook. So that way you can partake in that.
And
so
tweet Ron, thank you. Yeah, so the biggest thing is, you know, local connections and different things like that that you guys could help us with, and that's the biggest thing that would help us impact what we're trying to do.
All right, thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
So some of you didn't get the memo. It's Casual Wednesday. So thank you again. This is the end of our event. We are back here for the foreseeable future. So next Wednesday, again, as Angela mentioned, we have room for presenters starting in May or early May. So tell your friends. For those of you who are here for the first time, bring friends next week. And those that have been here before, that's our ask of you, is bring 2 more. If you haven't signed up for our newsletter, we encourage you to do so. That way you'll know if we do move or if something specific happens. We'll also provide you with a discount code via the newsletter, so that all ties in together. Don't forget to continue the social media love for our sponsors during the week. Let's spike it only on Wednesday. It's great, but a little continuous feedback. And if you go to Barney's, take a picture. If you walk by the Rollins sign, take a picture. Send it on to them as well. And I hope to see you guys and more next Wednesday. Thank you very much.